Hello, everybody, and welcome to session one of the what I'm kind of nicknaming the Endgame campaign, the 10th and final for now campaign on my YouTube channel. And today we should be having a lot of fun. For those of you who've been following some of my campaigns throughout, you might recognize some of the faces here. These are going to be the very first three players in our campaign, and every single session is supposed to be a little different from each other. We're just having a lot of fun, giving everyone an option to play with each other, especially players and characters that they haven't played with in the past. And it's just going to be a great love letter slash reunion with some of our previous players. So before we start getting into it, let us go around and introduce everyone to each other. Would each person briefly tell us as little or as much as you want about yourself personally as a player? Tell us which campaign you were from, and then tell us as much as you think the audience needs to know about your character if they had never seen your campaign.
Hi, everyone. I am Roma Has. Everyone calls me Roma around here. So I will be playing Molly, Molly Moon Pearl from the Pokemon Spectrum campaign. That started 6 years ago, I think, right, Hart? It
Yeah,
was 6 years
yeah.
ago. Yeah. So Molly Moon Pearl. Her companion Pokemon was a Crobat named Bullet, and she was an ex-con who went on a grand adventure, and now she leads a special task force. So she's been through a lot, but she is married. She's married. She has a wife, and she has a newly adopted daughter.
Hello, I'm Callista. I was in Dragon Age Season 3, Dragon Age Ascension. And I will be playing Pasha, or Pasha the Unyielding, you may call her. She was a human Kunari to Mazran, which meant she took care of the kids. One of her children, unfortunately, got taken from her, and she went on a quest to find out what happened to him, and she became a god.
Oh,
Yeah.
She became a god.
okay, that's
Yes.
important.
As you do,
As you do.
Just casually.
Yeah.
She now rules over love managers, and I can't remember what the last one was. If you ever need a manager, Pasha will be there.
Yeah, domains are managers, protection, and lovers.
That was it.
That's important too. Managers, protection, and lovers. Main worshippers were unorthodox Kunari, leaders, other managers, guards, and angsty teens.
Yes.
Those are main worshippers.
I'm Ethan. People do call me Frenchie because of my last name, but I will be playing Forest Erasmelda today, who is a dragonborn psychic slash empath who has a lot of people issues, but hopefully they're gone for now. So we'll see.
Cool. Thank you all for playing. Let me now explain to the audience what the theme is for today's session. So, today's session is going to be called, I'm nicknaming it Whose Line Is It Anyway session. For those of you who are not aware, there was a show, I don't remember if it originated in America or if it originated in somewhere else in the UK, and then we kind of stole it from them. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay. So there is a show called Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is a sketch comedy improv show. In America, it was hosted by Drew Carey, and they just played improv games in front of a live audience during the episode. And the points are real, but they don't actually matter, or something along those lines. So we're actually going to play this session utilizing one of the games that I thought would be really fun to apply, which is the game where you'll be going through a scene with each other, and then every now and then you'll pull some random line that was submitted by the live audience. So I actually got a majority of these lines from people from the community, people from my Facebook group, just random people ask. Well, people that I presumably knew, but they were sending me the most random lines they can. And so what I'm asking the players to do is, as we're going through these scenes, every now and then when they feel that the timing is right, to pull a random line, and they wouldn't know what the line is until they actually say it out loud. And to the best of our ability, I would like for us to, react to these lines and try to make sense of them to some degree, even if they may take no sense. Like, for example, if Callista pulls a line like, "Oh, look, a monkey," then me as the GM would say, "Yeah, just then a random monkey appears," and then we just have to go with it. So go with the line as much as you can. You're welcome to react to it. Like, that's strange. Why did I just say that? But I ask that you don't start. I want it to be gradual. Like, I would like for you to just kind of go with it at first, and then maybe as the next 2 hours goes on, you might be like, why are we saying all these random things? Like, maybe don't realize it for sure until later on. Does that make sense? Okay. Cool. Let's actually start this scene. You know what? I would like to ask for Callista and Ethan, roll initiative. I'm going to save Molly for later, if you don't mind.
5.
5? Okay.
Terrible.
My initiative bonus is 3.
Okay.
Ooh, no, on the desk. Oh, that is a 6
it like a
on the
crit?
dice.
Oh,
Okay.
6 on the dice, so that is a 9.
So even without your bonus, okay, cool. So let's set this up. So Pasha, you are soaring through the skies on Valor with your companion Athon.
Okay.
And if you personally remember, I don't know if the audience remembers, but you actually decided to leave your universe.
Yes.
Because you're a god. You decided to leave your universe and just explore what else is out there. So here you are. You feel like you have successfully breached from your universe over to the next. You believe this is a whole new land. Who knows what the rules are here? But you're just soaring through the skies. There was maybe like this big fog that you eventually cut through. And you just see this, I would say from above, a pretty gorgeous looking set of islands and countryside. And Athon is exploring and you notice is using his eyes to explore the lay of the land. He'll mention something about, did we do it? Did we leave our universe, or did we leave our world?
I think so. Feels like we did.
The air smells different to me somehow.
Odd. Perhaps we should land. See where we are. See what's here for us.
I agree. So what I will say is, if you want to choose a place to land, there's right below you. There looks like a mountainous area. There's a foresty area. There's a river. There's like a river bend. Which of those 3 areas do you think you would try to aim towards?
Probably the forest.
The forest?
The forest.
Okay. Speaking of forest, let's go to forest.
all right.
Valor will land by the edge of the forest, I will say. It's probably easier for her to land right to the edge. And when you dismount, Pasha, and take a look around, you will see sleeping on the grass, actually, just at the edge of the forest, this dragon Charizard looking thing, I guess. I would call Dragonite looking thing, but not the size of an actual Dragonite, like medium sized. Can you describe what your character looks like physically, Ethan?
Okay. What you see is a like beautifully golden scaled lizard man person thing. Probably like a Dragonite or like a Charmeleon maybe. But it doesn't have like fire or anything. It's just it does have like a nicely tailored like not quite like suit on, but a very nice like shirt and pants. And it's not something I don't think you've seen Pokemon do before. Or do they never mind.
Pasha doesn't know what a Pokemon is.
Yes.
So yeah, so I think Athon is going to kneel down by the grass and just kind of pick up some of the dirt and just rubs it in his fingers. He's a very nature oriented person, so he's just kind of looking around for tracks, looking around for any sign of life in this area. I don't think he immediately notices Forest because he wasn't looking in that direction specifically. So
Pasha will tap Athon on the shoulder and just say, look over there. I think he looks very similar. I once met a draconic race of people on some islands before. Maybe we haven't left. Maybe we are still in our universe. I'll go say hello. I was once given a traditional greeting by my friend.
All right, Callista's gonna make the first draw.
First one.
I think I'll go sleep on that squirrel. I might have gotten the translation wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the traditional greeting.
So, and lo and behold, as you say those words, Pasha, you do actually see that there is a squirrel, or at least what looks to be a squirrel, sleeping right on top of this dragon thing.
The dragons on the island, they really were so intelligent. They knew. And Pasha will go and just gently lean over Forest and just whisper into his ear, I think I'll go sleep on that squirrel.
Forest, you can start to wake up, and the out of character, just so you know, for all of you Pokemon people, the squirrel is actually a Pachirisu. Pachirisu, if you know, and it's just this cute little bluish squirrel-looking thing, and it's just passed out asleep on top of Forest for some reason. But Forest, if you would like to start waking up, you may. And to preface things, the last you will remember was going to sleep in your own bed in your own house or your own home. So you'll just randomly find yourself in this forest and you have no idea how you got here.
Oh, jeez. Squirrel. What's going on? Oh, hello.
Pachirisu!
Oh,
Like the squirrel woke up.
oh, Melora. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. 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 Who are you and why is what? I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Before you respond, all you hear is Dragonborn, 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 Dragonborn. That's all you hear him say.
Pasha will call back to Athon. No, they're definitely not like the ones I met before.
Dragonborn. Dragonborn. Wait.
Dragonborn.
I think she's mocking me.
The little Pachirisu looks at you and says, "What are you doing, stupid? They can't understand what you're saying."
Oh my goodness, I am having a fever dream. But you can understand what I'm saying.
You're having a fever dream? I thought you were a scratchy rock.
Scratchy Rock. Is that really all I am to you?
Yeah, I needed a good place to sleep. And rubbing against the scratchy rock, I figured would help soothe me before I doze off, which it did.
All right, I am now just officially a glorified bed.
You don't look like a Charizard. You'd be dead if you didn't have your flame, so that's not what you are. Huh.
I'm sorry. Could you run that word by me again? Charizard?
Yeah, Charizard. That ain't what you are.
I know. I've never heard that word before.
Come to think of it, I've never seen a human look like that either. He said, "You see the Pachirisu and the Dragonborn. They seem to be having a conversation with each other, and one of them actually turns to look at you, says something, and then looks back at the dragon thing. And I'm gonna say by this point, Athon will walk up to you and say, "Curious. The creatures in this lands, their vocals seem to be more evolved."
Yes, but all they can say is one word. Very strange. Very strange indeed.
Pachirisu, 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 Pachirisu.
Dragonborn. Dragonborn.
Athon will say, "I don't suppose you have any means of possibly communicating with them with your, powers?"
I'm not sure if my powers do, but one of the guardians did once lend me. I might still have it. She lent me a means to communicate with Valor. I might.
Right.
And Pasha, Pasha has it. We don't know why. She just has it still. Then she will attempt to harness the magics of the staff.
Sure.
Ooh, what are you doing with that thing?
The Pachirisu sees the big staff-looking thing, and he looks at it and is like, "Looks tasty." Go ahead and roll a d20. Let's roll a magic roll, Pasha.
That's a nat 1.
Oh no. Okay, so you try to cast the spell, and then when you think you successfully cast it, that's when Athon goes, Athon? Athon.
By me, it's spreading.
It's a disease.
Meanwhile, Forrest, what are you saying to this Pachirisu, or what are you doing?
I'm kind of getting my bearings. I can understand these strange individuals who have come to me, correct? It's just they can't seem to understand me.
Yes, you understand what they're saying. Somehow you're bilingual, and you can understand Pokemon and Common, I guess. Somehow you can't understand. What do you do? Also, the Athon guy just starts saying Athon, which doesn't really translate into Pokemon. So you have no idea what the other guy is saying.
I'm afraid I didn't catch your name, little one. You're very well spoken for a squirrel, I must say. I don't think I've had a squirrel before talk to me, and I can speak 4 different languages.
My name? Well, my name is... I'm drawing a line. My name is... We may have potato understanding, but you can just call me Potato. Not potato. Potato.
Or tomato. Okay. Lovely. Potato with under... That's got to be a handful at weddings.
Potato the Pachirisu. I know. But Mom had a really funny sense of humor.
All right.
There's tomato. There's rutabaga. Those are my sibs.
Oh, do you... Oh, man. Tomato, rutabaga. Is there, like, beet and radish? I love radishes. Radishes are delicious.
No, don't be ridiculous. Who would call their kids beet and radish?
Okay. Well, I think I have an idea on how to bridge this language gap. I mean, would you like to join?
What exactly are you going to do?
I have powers over the mind. And I can talk to people without actually speaking. So maybe
You're a psychic Pokemon.
I'm going to pretend like I understand what you're saying. I am a psychic. And I'm going to reach out and try to connect with these people's minds and just
Yes.
they hear in their
Yes.
heads, 3 raccoons have taken residence in there.
Okay. So, Pasha, you will hear a voice that sounds similar to what the Dragonborn's voice is using. That says 3 raccoons have taken residence there.
Clearly, this is a follow-up to the sleeping on a squirrel line. First there are squirrels, then there are raccoons. That makes sense. And Pasha will slowly turn her head towards the Dragonborn. And just, hello?
She seems to respond to you, Dragonborn.
Lovely, we've made first contact. Okay, man.
Wait, you did it? You actually used your telepathy or what's it's on?
Well, she responded to me, so like, I think so. I mean, would you like to say something?
Can you ask her if I can eat her stick?
Let me just check my power, because it's been 8 months real quick.
While you're doing that, Molly, you are waking up as well. And the last you remember, you were snug in your bed, and but when you wake up, the floor feels really hard, and it's very dark. If you like feel around for your lamp or whatever it is, it's not there. This doesn't seem to be your room, much less your house, wherever you're in.
Oh my goodness. And she sits up and she does that like stretch, because her back is definitely stiff at this age. And she looks around and she's like, Alicia?
Your voice echoes when you yell that out. Mm-hmm. It just echoes.
Okay. Not the weirdest thing to happen to me. So,
is it Thursday again?
It's a Thursday. It's just a Tuesday. I just have to remember. I just have to remember what my mother told me to remember in situations like these. The last thing she told me was, that duck is too small to play sousaphone. That was right before we had her committed. But it's the last thing I remember her saying.
What do you do next,
okay.
Molly?
She's just walking, and she didn't actually say duck, she said ducklet. So
ducklet, yes,
so
that ducklet. I like.
So she's walking. She's just like, remember the ducklet, remember the sousaphone. She's just walking.
What do you say Molly normally like sleeps in? Like pajamas, a nightgown, or barefoot?
Definitely pajamas. I'll say she is barefoot.
Yeah, no socks or anything.
No socks or anything. She has like just those button down pajamas and like
got it,
pants and everything.
Okay, so that's what you're wearing right now, just so you know.
Yep.
Okay.
So she's walking. She's feeling around. She's like, I don't have any of my equipment with me.
Yeah, you don't. You do realize quickly though that you're in a cave.
Ooh.
And so eventually you'll see a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't run into any trouble as you maneuver out of the cave. And as soon as you come out and the light hits your eyes, first of all, you notice that it is light outside, but the sun is starting to set. It's starting to get dark again. The sun is starting to set. And you see this weird scene before you. You see a Pachirisu and a Pokemon dragon-like creature that you've never seen before. You see a woman. Could you describe what Pasha looks like?
Okay, so
Callista?
Pasha is in her mid-40s. She's a dark-skinned human woman wearing a sari in a sort of blues and greens.
And then you see a gentleman, relatively handsome-looking gentleman, next to her, that out of character kind of looks druidish. He definitely looks like a nature type, an outdoorsy nature type gentleman, as well as another Pokemon that out of character is a Griffin. I'm not sure if there's a Pokemon that looks the closest to a Griffin, but it's not that.
Okay.
It looks similar to, I guess, a Pokemon that you're familiar with, but it's not actually one.
Yeah, she steps out of the cave. She blinks in the light for a minute, and she says, "Well, might as well go with it." She just comes up. Like, she comes up with the air of someone who's surprised, but also kind of used to this kind of thing.
Yep. The last detail before Pasha and Ethan Forrest are interacting with her is, this is the one major inconsistent thing right now, Roma, with you, is that you are actually very, very pregnant right now.
Okay.
So I know earlier you said that your first child at least was adopted.
Mhm.
In this particular scenario, you're about to have your first child.
Okay. And
by birth.
And I'm not questioning this.
You're not questioning this.
Okay. All right.
You're not questioning this. Yeah,
right.
You're like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, I've been pregnant for a while. I'm excited for my first daughter with
child.
Alicia. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she's kind of doing that thing where she's walking, she's got a hand on her back. You know, she's heavily pregnant. She's probably not not very comfortable, and she just kind of walks up and just kind of, hello.
Oh my goodness, another person. Can you actually understand me? Dragonborn.
Can I?
Do you feel that you would have taken time to try to learn some of the Pokemon language yourself naturally?
I feel like I would have. I mean,
okay.
Like, I'm not as good as Nevi was, but I think you know.
Sure. Roll I guess it would be linguistics Pokemon or intelligence knowledge roll, whatever you think is appropriate.
Okay. Nat 20.
Oh. Okay. Well, this will make it easier. So, at least for the time being, you will be able to understand fully anything that Forrest says without using his telepathy.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right. I can understand you perfectly. That's great.
Oh, wonderful. This has been a very strange day. Do you know what's going on here?
I do not. I just woke up in a cave over there.
Lovely. So you have no idea where you are either. Oh, and okay. Also, there's this weird squirrel thing next to me. Do you know what it is? I've never seen it before.
Oh, that's a Pachirisu. She doesn't even hesitate.
It's a squirrel.
It's a Pachirisu. Look at it. It's white. It has the blue on the tail.
Well, yeah, it's like a blue squirrel.
I'm not a blue squirrel. What's a squirrel anyway?
Well, it's like a small rodent that's like, they live in trees and they gather. Typically, it's nuts, but they actually do a lot of foraging with like berries and stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
That sounds very generalistic. I demand to see your manager. And at that point, Pasha, your God senses are tingling. Somebody's looking for a manager.
The squirrel needs me. I sense it. Pasha will just, Once you, Miss, you understand these creatures?
Yes, I mean, I'm
Creatures.
only like intermediate level or so, but I have been studying.
Oh, okay. Mhm, mhm.
I'm Molly, by the way. We haven't met.
Pasha, nice to meet you. Are you quite all right, madam? You're not even wearing shoes, and Pasha would take off her sandals at that and just be like, "You need these more than me."
Oh,
Yes.
well, thank you. I seem to have transported here without my slippers. And she looks back at the cave, and her feet are dirty, like everything. Her pajamas are dirty. Uh, I have no idea how I got here, but it's not the first time this has happened to me.
Well, this is quite a conundrum. We have a saying in my language. I think the translation would be, "There ain't nothing better in life than a creamy warm cocoa combined with the soothing sounds of Gordon Lightfoot."
That's a very long saying.
It's shorter in Cumlat.
I see. Okay. Well, I do enjoy a good cocoa, and I could use one right now. Like, where are we even?
Oh, it's lovely. I like cocoa too. Just trying to get on the conversation here. Hi.
Just to uh, just to clarify, you can't understand him.
Not a word. And my partner is just saying his name. I think they might be cursed, and the curse is spreading.
Athon.
Oh, if there's like some sort of like disease going on, I'm not actually that poorly practiced in medicine. I might be able to help heal you in some way. I just need to touch you with my hands.
If you like, I can translate that.
Please.
Just touching her might be a little, I remember what my wife told me. Whenever I'm interacting with someone new or going to a new plane and interacting with the cultures, one of the first things she taught me was the sofa is on fire.
Oh dear,
That was-
that's
And lo and behold, this random sofa in the distance just bursts into flames, just right in the distance. A sofa that you had not noticed until just now, but it was always there.
Alicia, my wife Alicia, has always been very intuitive. She just always seems to know when something's going to happen.
Don't just stand there, the fire's gonna spread! Help! The Pachirisu starts running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Pachirisu!
I don't have anything. Well, I can't put out the fire, but I can do this, and I will tempo change to. Actually, I don't need to tempo change because I'm already in that tempo. So I'm just going to reach out, and there's a burst of psychic power as the sofa begins to gently levitate into the air.
This dragon Pokemon is using telekinesis, but it's still on fire. Oh yeah, hold on, let's put it out. So he's at least trying to keep it away from the other trees, I presume.
Yes.
Well, I have something that might work. I don't like to use it. I don't like to use it in situations like this, but I suppose I could try something. How close is the sofa, by the way? Is it just floating off randomly, or is it somewhat close?
You didn't notice it until it was ablaze, so it probably wasn't close enough for you to notice it immediately until. So it's far enough that you could still see it when it's on fire, but not when it wasn't.
Okay. So she says, "Be a dear Pokemon and bring that a little closer. I would run to it, but you know."
Okay. Well, my name is Forrest. I am not Pokemon. So, thank you very much. I would appreciate it if you were, respectful of myself, because well, you know what they say about things when people are disrespectful for each other. Of course I know how to do the wobble. Just watch.
Well, I apologize. So keep on wobbling and just go ahead and bring the sofa closer if you don't mind.
And I'll reel in the sofa with my natural 4 dance moves.
Wow. Athon will make a comment which only the Dragonborn would understand. Well, no, the Dragonborn doesn't understand. Athon makes a comment, and the Pachirisu will say in Pokemon, "I've never seen a technique like that," pointing at the dancing. Did you learn that from an HM or a TM?
Potato, I have no idea what's going on here. You are speaking things that I have never heard of before come out of a rodent entity.
So the sofa comes closer.
Yes, I'll lasso it in.
Yeah. When it's close enough for Molly to touch, she reaches toward it, totally unfazed by the way that she's about to put her hand into fire, and she says as she's approaching, she just says, "Moltres, help me," and she uses Moltres' gift to absorb the fire into her body.
Nice. Yes.
Okay.
So she just sucks up the fire with her hand, and now you have. Now, is your body wreathed in fire, or you just have this internal energy within you that you can release later?
I don't think I know I have the fire inside me that I can release. We never really established what it looks like, but I'll say it's probably just like a glow, like Karlach.
Okay.
Like Karlach, basically.
Yeah, like Karlach.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I like that.
Just a burning
Beautiful.
a burning thing in her chest that's ready to go whenever she needs
I love it. I love it. You feel the child inside you move, not in distress, but more like warming up next to a cozy fire in your belly. That's what it feels like.
There you go. Enjoy the warmth. Enjoy the warmth, little Nadia. It's okay.
Oh, well, you have some interesting powers too then. That's amazing.
It's a very long story, but
Oh.
maybe someday.
Me too.
Maybe someday I'll. Oh.
Well, with the sofa no longer on fire, would you like to sit down?
I actually would very much like to sit down. I'm a little. Well, you know my condition.
Yes.
So yeah, she goes to
Athon. And Athon, the gentleman will help you sit down.
Oh,
Thank you very much. And she's just kind of settles down.
well, either this is a very big sofa or one of us is going to have to stand, so I think I'll just stand.
Now, this clearly none of us are where we ought to be, or I'm new to this place, but clearly something isn't quite right. We should try and figure out where exactly this is. And Posh will attempt to look around. Is there any sign of civilization or
Besides the sofa.
Aside from the sofa. Yeah, roll a spot check or a perception check, Callista, whatever applies.
If you
for
give me a nat 1, I will be displeased. 13 on the dice. Good job.
13, nice.
That is a 17 in total.
Okay, you're gonna look around. I don't think that there's any signs of civilization in the immediate surroundings, but what I will say is that you will spot up into the trees these pair of eyes that are looking through the leaves, and they seem to be watching you up in the trees somewhere.
Pasha will point that out and say, we're being watched. And you know what they say about people who spy on others. They say My pregnancy test is positive.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yes, that makes 2 of us, I guess.
At that point, Athon, like, his eyes bulge, and he starts to grow really red, and very red, and he starts saying, Athon? At you, Pasha?
No translation needed.
I didn't think it would happen this soon.
It's now canon. Wow. And at that point, just because it just feels thematic, roll me a whatever the equivalent of a constitution check would be for you, Molly.
Oh no.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Does it have to do with a gun with a Chekhov name on it?
Chekhov's gun? Let's see. Well, in the on the skill sheet, I have survival. Would that work?
I'll let you use it. Sure, I'll let you use it.
Here, I got 22.
At the talk of pregnancy and stuff, you start feeling this sudden sharp cramping happening, and your water breaks. Now, before we move on, as somebody who's gone through this, not me personally, like not me directly personally, obviously, but as somebody who does understand how pregnancy actually works, unlike in the TV shows or in the movies, like once somebody's waters breaks, it doesn't mean the baby is coming out right away. But for the purposes of drama, it seems like the baby is coming and it's coming out fast, just for the purpose of drama. Go ahead.
Okay, so Molly reacts in quite a bit of pain at that, and
Oh dear.
And with the sixth sense of humor she sometimes has, she says, "Well, we could have used that water when the couch was still on fire, but as it is."
Yeah. I'm not familiar with like having a child. I have no idea how you guys do it. I mean, we just lay eggs, but like just hold my hand and squeeze, deep breaths, okay? And right, and just remember, okay? Just as much pain as you're in, sometimes I look at the sky and I see gorillas. Just remember that. Repeat it to yourself.
Sometimes
Anchor
I look
yourself in this
and I see
reality.
gorillas. Sometimes I look in the sky and I see gorillas. By the way, Molly has a very, very strong grip. So with every contraction, she's squeezing with everything she's got.
Yeah, so as you say that, as you look towards the sky at the eyes that were watching you, finally a head pokes out, and it's a slacking, which is a gorilla Pokemon, a slacking up in the tree. And the slacking kind of tilts its head and just watches you intently. Pasha, I presume that Pasha knows a thing or two about the situation.
Considering that she was a Tamazaran, I would assume that too. So Pasha, did they bring any supplies on Valor?
Whatever you think would have made sense. Sure.
I think
Whatever
at the
you thought
very
would have made
least,
sense.
blankets and water.
Yes.
I think at the very least.
Yes.
So Pasha has gone. She has grabbed the blanket. She has grabbed the water, and she will, hustle over to Molly and say, "Oh, all right. It's been a little while since I've done this. However, I think I still remember what to do. Deep breaths. Yes. You pointing at Forrest. Just you.
Yes.
And you're doing good. Deal with the pain. You're my assistant for today."
Yep, really good.
Okay.
I will, for whatever it's worth, also like pump some lay on hands healing into her to nullify some of the pain. So I don't know how that'll help, but maybe.
Do you have to make a roll to see how successful that is?
Yes.
Go ahead and make a roll. I want to see how successful it is.
It's +4. That's a 16 total.
Oh, okay. So he essentially is going to able to dull the pain of the contractions and the process of the childbirth. You'll still feel it, but it's at least sustainable for now.
Very faintly, you can
You're
hear
not going to
the-
pass out yet. Is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Very faintly, you begin to hear the melody of "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" in your head, like on little triangles.
This is not how I pictured this moment in my life, but I will take it. I will take it. Alicia will have quite a story when I get back home.
Pasha will. I don't know if there's time to get off Molly's pajama bottoms, or if they've just got to be like ripped.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
Fold them. The blankets, the water, and Pasha is just okay on the count of. 1 second. On the count of Mom made me do it. Push. 3, 2. Mom made me do it.
Mom made me do it. Mom made
That's
me do
it.
it. Mom made me do it.
How'd it go?
She's pushing, and she's just saying all these things, and she's saying the gorillas in the sky thing. She's saying the mom made me do it. I think at some point during this process, something clicks in her mind that's like, this is kind of nuts, isn't it? But she keeps going. This is kind of nuts, isn't it?
Do we have to roll for childbirth?
Yes. Why don't we, Callista, go ahead and roll,
Roll for
whatever you
pregnancy.
think is appropriate for assisting with childbirth.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a medicine roll or if that's
okay, that's
whatever
a
you think.
16 on the dice. Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
okay, great.
Hopefully nothing
Okay.
bad happens.
So she's pushing. You're having her breathe. I would say, Roma, go ahead and roll for me another, I guess, survival check if that was what you were using before for yourself earlier. This is going to determine how long labor took.
Okay. That was a 13 on the survival.
Okay. So I would say 13. I'll say that the whole process from beginning to end, when the baby finally pops out and lands in Pasha's arms, is roughly an hour-ish of labor, which actually is not bad, all things
terrible.
considered. That's not terrible. Although, without modern medicine, it might be a little bit terrible. But fortunately, for us, help it was bearable. As soon as the baby comes out and starts to cry, that's when the full moon is completely out above you in the night sky.
Wasn't it just sunset? Wow, that's crazy.
Is the moon often like this here? As Pasha will, cut the umbilical cord, clean up the baby, then hand baby over to Molly.
Yeah, Molly's like, she's panting. She's obviously had a very interesting day. A little bit too interesting.
Athon, who has been kind of just staying out of the way and just letting Pasha do her thing, when the baby is finally safely out and seems to be healthy, he will give a reassuring rub on Molly's shoulder.
She's grateful for that. She looks at the baby and she says, little Nadia, in these first few moments of your life, I want to say this to you, and I never want you to forget it. Nadia, never forget, human teeth are the only part of the body that can't heal itself. Remember to brush your teeth, little Nadia, and floss, and go to the dentist every 6 months. She's like crying, and then she's like, that's a strange thing to say to my newborn.
Cute 20 years later when they're actually talking, and it's like, my mother said when I was born. It wouldn't be a stupid line. It would actually be.
It would be the
I'm
truth.
sorry.
That is a little odd to. I don't think I've ever heard a newborn mother give their child a
It's
lecture
fine.
on dental hygiene.
I mean, I'm not sure if you know anything about childbirth, but sometimes emotions, they just run through your brain strangely. It's fine, you know. She's just going through some things, you know. It's
I'll just assume that Molly's translating for Pasha, so everything Forrest says.
Oh, is my telepathy not working?
It can work.
Oh,
Have you
okay,
been
sorry.
also communicating with? Have you also been communicating with Pasha through telepathy? I mean, you can say you're doing that by default from this point.
Yeah,
forward, if you want.
once I figured out
Okay.
it worked in the first time, that's what I'd
Okay.
be doing.
So we can just say by default that you're communicating.
Mhm.
So while you're settling, and it seems like with your survival checks there wasn't any complications from the childbirth, as well as with Callista or with Pasha's checks, there was no complications. What I will say, first of all, the Pachirisu is snoring on a rock because maybe halfway through the birthing process it just got bored. It was just I'm just gonna wake me when the excitement happens again. So he's sleeping. I would like for the three of you to roll a whatever the corresponding will save would be, or
I'm good at
if you
those.
have anything that defends you against mind affecting effects, you're welcome to use those as well.
Do I ever?
Yeah, roll.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well I have a pretty good bonus. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was just below average. 14.
Okay.
Not great.
How about the rest of you all?
Okay,
A will save or 19?
Yep.
For Pokemon, we have either focus or intuition.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I would say focus. Say focus.
Okay. I'll do focus.
I would give you a -2 because you just gave birth. So I would say it's
Right.
harder for you to make a save
So that
like
was
that.
-2, right? So that was
Yeah.
a 5, so 3.
Okay. So what happens is while you are getting yourself settled, you start hearing this faint at first but starting to grow and grow song. You know exactly what it is, Molly, and you're like fighting. You're fun. You're allowed to say something before you doze off to sleep if you want to say something to the group.
Guys, there's a Jigglypuff. There's a Jigglypuff. I'm gonna fall asleep soon. If anything, just remember, if anything happens, just remember, who would have thought the gingham clashes with the calico? And she's asleep.
Yeah, her emotions are like really getting to her right now. Like I don't know what's going on. It is a little weird, I guess. But I'm sure Jigglypuff sounds really cute and adorable and not dangerous at all. So like maybe we should introduce ourselves, you know? And
it's singing in a forest at night. Where's the harm in that, really?
I love singing. Music is my thing. Like I lead a band, and you know, maybe the Jigglypuff can join my band. That's it. I don't know where I am right now, but
Athon starts trying to fight, dozing off, but he actually falls right to sleep, and Valor will actually follow suit.
Oh, well,
starting to fall asleep.
That's actually not very good.
No.
And Forrest, you, with your role, you feel like you're getting drowsy very quickly. But you still manage to keep yourself awake. Just know that you're a little bit woozy at the moment.
Oh no. I think there's some sort of mind powers going on. I feel drowsy. I don't know what's going on. Look, if anything happens, just remember.
What is it, Forrest? What must I
Let me
remember?
brush that for you.
Let me brush that for you. And what was Forrest Forrest looking at when he says that? Let me brush that for you.
I was probably looking at her head, so I'll just reach up with my talons and just gently caress her hair.
Maybe there was like a bug Pokemon on it or something, and you're just trying to get it off of your hair. Sure, maybe there was like a small Flygon or something on her head, and you're just, let me brush that for you.
Vibrita, you mean? Flygon is dragon.
Sorry, Vibrita.
Is it
Vibrita.
Oh yeah,
What's the dragonfly Pokemon? Is it
Yanma.
Or Yanma.
Yanma.
Why was I thinking Vibrita?
Let's say there was a Yanma, like a small Yanma on her hair that you were just brushing off, and the Yanma flies away.
Don't worry, Forrest. There is something I may yet be able to do. You see, I have a power within me, and it is one of the most powerful powers of them all. It will stir people to rages beyond all knowing. The desire.
Maybe not.
Rage will wake people. Rage will wake people. And what would wake you up more than the desire for a manager? Pasha will attempt to wake up Molly and Athon and Val and just make Forrest have a little bit more pep by they need the manager. They need the manager. Something has gone wrong and they must speak.
Roll a magic roll for this. I presume magic roll, unless you have another roll in mind.
I was gonna say.
Do I have to roll anything for this, or?
You don't have to roll anything. Okay. This is Pasha.
I think
trying.
I think magic was a willpower roll in Dragon Age. I think.
Willpower? Sure. Go ahead. Sure.
I have a good stat for that, so
it's fine.
Oh, that's a 19 on the dice, so that's 28.
Nice. So, Molly, you start to actually feel, before you wake up, you have this dream of just being so frustrated, like you're in the DMV or you've been waiting in line forever, and you're just getting so frustrated and angry and upset that it actually jolts you awake. This dream jolts you awake, as you feel like, something just put me to sleep. I demand to see the manager. That's what you feel like right now.
Yeah, she jolts awake, and she's just like, I don't have time for this. Wait, what just happened?
I don't know.
You desired the manager, and the manager responded.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that. She shakes her head a little bit. She looks down at the baby, and she's just, this has been an odd day.
Is that going to happen again? Are Jigglypuffs dangerous hunters? Are they going to Oh no, are they sirens?
Dangerous. They're not nearly as dangerous as Clefairies. I'll just tell you that. But Jigglypuffs, generally generally harmless. Clefairies, so dangerous.
Apex predators, then.
Yes, must be. Fairies are very dangerous creatures.
They don't look like it, but they will murder you at the slightest provocation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, are we in the Feywild? Is that where we are right now? Because there's a bunch of fairies about, right? I've never been to a different plane of existence before. This is exciting. I should scrapbook this.